The Rock is smashing! The Smashing Machine. Written and directed by Benny Safdie, one of the brothers who wrote and directed such great movies like Uncut Gems, Good Times. I'm a big fan of these guys. So having one of the brothers do a UFC sort of biography film about Mark Kerr, I was definitely interested in this film. So what did I think of The Smashing Machine? It was good. I enjoyed the flick. This is not like the best fighting, movie of all time, but overall, I did enjoy it. Let's talk about the best things about this film. I think the performances are great. I think Dwayne Johnson is excellent as Mark Kerr. I don't know if it's an Academy Award winning performance necessarily. I think he will be nominated, but I will say it's his best performance he's ever done. It's definitely his movie. I think he is quite good in this film and the emotional lengths he has to go to. Of course, he can do the physical work. I'm not concerned if he can physically pull off this movie, but is he able to do it emotionally and mentally as this character? And absolutely, he nails it. I thought he was great in this film. Emily Blunt was really good too. Maybe not her best performance, and I think part of that is the writing of her character a bit, but I did think she is great. I'm a huge fan of Emily Blunt. I thought the rest of the cast was really great in this film. Some real life fighters in this film and some actors hired to be fighters. Second of all, I loved the fights in this film. They feel very real and visceral and raw, almost like you're watching a documentary, and they sort of remind me of some of the kinetic energy fight scenes that you get in movies like The Fighter and Creed even, and I really did enjoy the way that this movie felt and looked and was shot. I thought it was great. Nothing too crazy cinematic, but also still making it appealing to look at on the big screen. I don't know if Benny Safdie was, again, going for something really cinematic. He was more trying to tell like a character study film and something about Mark Kerr and, just honoring the fact that he was one of the pioneers of this sport of the UFC. And that's all that the movie really felt like at times. And at times, I really appreciate that directing style that he chose. And then at times, I also clashed with it and wish there was just a little bit more of an emotional gut punch, pun intended.
That shit wasn't funny.
There is definitely some issues with this movie. It kind of, the fact that it's a straightforward biopic is a little bit of a deterrent. Like, I thought this was going to be a interesting, different type of movie because it's Benny Safdie, yet I found it very straightforward and really conventional in some ways, and then in some ways he subvert expectations. Like, at the end of the film, there isn't really like a huge, big fight or big moment that shows how victorious Mark Kerr is. That's not what this movie's trying to do, and that's okay. I like that it's doing something different, but there is also that audience member side of me that was like, I just felt a little like the movie's kind of anticlimactic, that the story is just about Mark's life and him dealing with addiction, and it doesn't really say anything new about it. The tone was just really drab and kind of documentary style, and it didn't feel cinematic. And when I go to see a movie in the theaters, I want an experience of some sort, even if it is just like a straightforward drama. I don't mean action. I don't mean I need explosions or anything like that. That's not what I'm talking about. But I want to feel like I had a really interesting, fun experience. I just didn't get that with The Smashing Machine. And I think that the trailers for this movie definitely promised it to be one thing, and the movie that it turns out to be is something totally different. So if you saw the trailer and you were excited for this movie, just maybe curb your enthusiasm and curb your expectations a little bit, because it's probably not going to be the movie that you ultimately are wanting or expecting.
What the hell was that?
The editing felt a little jarring and all over the place, and it was hard to sort of follow what each character was wanting in each scene, and there was a lot of arguing, but it was just like arguing for arguing's sake, and both characters are just really temperamental characters, and I appreciate that this person, this real life guy, is being so open and vulnerable about his life. But I just don't know if it translated well to the film. I don't know if it necessarily, this needed to be told as a story. I don't know if there was enough here to make like a 2-hour film. I felt there was a lack of story at times and a propulsiveness to this movie that if they had it, it just would have made this movie flow a lot better. But instead, there's a lot of stop and go to this movie. A lot of like, we get going and then we stop and we pause. And we get going and then we stop and we pause. It got a little bit tiresome by the end. Like the last 25-30 minutes, I was definitely glancing at my watch going like, okay, when's this movie ending here? Ultimately, the movie's great. I had a good time with it. I think the performances are standout. They're awesome. I thought the actual like subject and the directing and stuff was usually pretty good in this film, but the story was lacking at times. It felt like we've seen this kind of thing before, and there was no sort of new ground being treaded on with this UFC kind of pioneer fight movie. But I'm also not going to hate on this movie, and I think it's still worth watching, especially if you like the UFC, especially if you know anything about Mark Kerr. So ultimately, I'm going to go ahead and give The Smashing Machine a B. Thank you so much for watching Mr. Teach Film Preach. If you like this video, click that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content. Also, comment down below, what did you think of The Smashing Machine? Were you excited for this film? Is this the best Dwayne Johnson's ever been in a film? Let me know with your thoughts and comments on the film down below. Come back and check out some other movie reviews such as Weapons and One Battle After Another. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next film.